Here is Jennifer Munoz. Trying to find Garcia. Here she is in the corner. Garcia. Her service just a little too far for Leilani Baker. This is a good start for New Mexico. I'm assuming they definitely want to right their wrong on Friday night in a game against UC Davis. For San Francisco, it's really been wheels up, except for a blip against Stanford on Friday evening, last Friday evening, where they conceded 5 goals. They were level at 1-1 against the national champion, but fortunately there were a couple of goals that were conceded right after each other in a short amount of time. Coach Jim Millender thought for a moment that they could have a go, but it's always a good test to play against one of the top teams on the West Coast as well, if you would like to be the top team. This is Kallmeyer. And now Kat Hill, the freshman, who absolutely been brilliant in the back line. Almost like a stone statue back there. And now Madison. Cleared away by Jessie Hicks, and she had to be swift at that for New Mexico. Kallmeyer looking for her teammate Weeks, headed on there by Smithers. Kallmeyer looking for Smithers. Madison, her shot into traffic, cleared away by Jessica Nelson. This is Micaiah Madison, still for San Francisco, looking for Weeks. Now one back here by New Mexico through the feet of Jennifer Munoz, the senior. Not the best of services. And here's Autumn Smithers. She's pointing to the back and asking her teammates to spread out a little bit more, as she should. And a foul on the far side. It's Kalena Teufel brought to ground. And a free kick for San Francisco in this opening bit. Bit windy here on Sunday in San Francisco. Cloud cover still over the Richmond /Haight /Golden Gate Park areas leading up until this specific area of Lone Mountain at the University of San Francisco. And so you probably hear the wind whipping in and swirling. It is certainly a factor today at this 1 o'clock kickoff time at that. This is Alexa Curtin. The sophomore gives the ball away though. This is Madison and her shot's wide. Out of the back, goalkeeper Johnson looks to find one of her teammates. Can't find him. In central midfield, this is Olguin who gives the ball away. Villegas, Weeks still operating outside the 18 to Sloss, her cross. It's a fine one at that. The goalkeeper misses it, and it's right at the back post. It's going to be a corner. Well, the wind certainly was a factor in that one. First corner kick for San Francisco. Jennings. And now Sloss. Back to Sloss. Sloss on the ground, looking for Madison. Can't find her. Into the feet of Kelsey. And now Weeks. Weeks. Far side for Kalena Teufel, and she's offside. It's Amelia Byerly, looking for one of her teammates, Leilani Baker. Smithers, taking her time, finds Sloss, who finds Smithers again, using the space very nicely, San Francisco. Jennings, heading on for Kalena Teufel. That is a very smart and intelligent move. Here's Teufel. Wants to get a first-time cross in. Teufel! And it's over the bar. Well, 10 minutes in, that's the best chance for San Francisco by Kalena Teufel. Diagonal. Teufel's able to cut it out. And now San Francisco to take a free kick here. Kohlmeyer on her right foot. Switching from the right back position to the left back position for the year. A senior from Idaho who transferred here last year and has really been a stalwart, actually from Oceanside, but went to Idaho State for 2 years until she joined up with this San Francisco program. An infringement in central midfield by Villegas. Restart now for New Mexico. All the New Mexico players are sitting. Every single San Francisco player is standing on the bench. Munoz, her service. And goal kick to San Francisco. 5 goals already for Samantha Jennings. I know there's going to be a lot more for the redshirt junior. Her 5th on Friday as well. Kohlmeyer back to the goalkeeper. EB. Headed on by Alexa Curtin. An offside flag is raised on Alicia Garcia. Out of the back, it's Cat Hill for Jennings. And now Weeks on for Jennings as well. Jennings on her feet. Looking for Micaiah Madison. Still Madison. And now Villegas. All the way back to Nicole Kelsey. And a foul has been called. San Francisco 4-1 on the year. It's a good start for them. They want more, though. They believe this team is the team that potentially could be historic in getting their first NCAA tournament appearance in the program history. That's what Jim Millender was brought here to do with his pedigree, now in his 7th season for this San Francisco side. Of course, all the years for Millender at USC, almost an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament for him. At the time, it was the Pac-10. And he's very much made home here in San Francisco and added so much stability to a program that had had instability before it. Athletic director Scott Sidwell very much trusts Millender and his style of play, too. It's not just sitting in and bunkering down. He wants to press and wants to play out of the back. Wants these players to learn something as well. True student of the game and obviously a teacher of it, too. Here's the flip throw from New Mexico. It's a long one. It does not meet any of their players, unfortunately, for them, but picked up by Curtin and tackled away by Villegas. Villegas on the diagonal. Madison was almost in there. Referee calls a foul. Madison is incensed with that decision. Flailing arms there on that decision. Ball swerved in. First header by Autumn Smithers. Still up in the air. And it's in the net, but it is offside. Can just take a look at this. And it's Garcia that scores it, but it's called back for offside. A header at the far post. Back to the near one. Hit a New Mexico player. This is Amelia By-Early. Munoz. Going for Jalen Hendren. Here comes Micaiah Madison as Sam Jennings is still on the ground for San Francisco. She elects to play on. Still Madison. Madison looking for Carly Weeks. Cleared away. Jennings on the ground still. San Francisco still playing. Referee not blowing his whistle yet as San Francisco continues to play. And it's cleared away by Nicole Kelsey. Samantha Jennings taking a while to get up as well. Looks to be that left ankle. And her and Smithers talking it out. The two captains think she might be able to soldier on here. Quick throw in now. San Francisco maintaining possession. Out of the back, Cat Hill. And now Micaiah Madison. Madison's wonderful little goal over the goalkeeper last week. Excuse me, on Friday. Kind of cheeky. Just stuck her foot out. That's all she had to do. This is Villegas. And now Madison on the sideline. Still Micaiah Madison. Nice work, Madison. Cut out, corner kick. Second one to San Francisco now. Going to be taken by Sylvia Sloss again. Can they get something from this? 27 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this first half. Sloss to take. Sylvia Sloss, left foot. And there's Cat Hill. So is Villegas. So is Madison, as well as Jennings. It's Smithers, and it's just wide. Autumn Smithers in favor her in the air there. Just getting her head to it, skimming the far post. Smithers. Right place, right time. Looking to open the scoring. Smithers was the first ball, but it's on for Munoz. Cleared away by Kelsey. Throw in front of the New Mexico bench. Again, the two teams met last year in New Mexico, 2-1 San Francisco. You have to go back to 1994 and 1997, the last matches before that. So it's almost a 20-year break since they had met, since last year. So this is just only their fourth meeting. San Francisco with a 2-1 record against New Mexico in the program history. So not a lot of history between the two sides. The fourth overall fixture. Diagonal. Ebby's there. Look at this. Ball may be sprung for Samantha Jennings. It's Jennings right to the goalkeeper. Chance for Sloss. And her chip is wide on the right foot. Well, Jennings continue to run here. On her left, the goalkeeper, Emily Johnson, has to do well. The junior from Western Springs, Illinois. Perfect save by Johnson. Must have done her homework on Jennings, and that special left foot of hers. That's the best move of the game for San Francisco. The other for New Mexico was through Leilani Baker, who was on a breakaway, and Molly Eby stifled her. Seeing that shot from distance was Eby. And here comes a substitution for San Francisco. And it's going to be Marie Marlowe, who impressed on Friday. Very speedy player, substituting Cassidy Kohlmeyer out here. She'll play at left back. Marlowe, in her first action here, has to defend well against Byerly. Look at that cross, just fizzing all the way through. And this is Cami Floth. Can't get to it. That cross in a pretty much no man's land area in front of the goalkeeper, Eby. A difficult spot that for her. No New Mexico player was on that. This is a decent spell for the New Mexico Lobos. This is Alexa Curtin. Switching the field, looking for her teammate in Jill Olguin. And here comes San Francisco. Weeks. Madison. Long ball out of the back. Can Leilani Baker get to it? She can. Leilani Baker turning the corner. Fans and some players protesting for some sort of penalty. Chipped in, headed away by Smithers. It was Alexa Curtin heading that in. Brought down by Munoz. And now Jessica Nelson. Nelson's service, it's nice, it's over the top. Eby is there, the follow-up is there, and it's over the bar for New Mexico. Another terrific opportunity for Jill Olguin. Substitution for San Francisco. going to be Samantha Kerwood-Wagner for Samantha Jennings. First header won by Smithers. Now Marlowe and Sloss. Strong challenge that. Marlowe and Amelia Byerly. Byerly, the senior, playing in central midfield. From Carlsbad, New Mexico. Free kick again by Munoz. Interesting, she plays in central midfield and takes the free kicks out of the back for this New Mexico side. Madison, Marlowe. On for Wagner, and now Weeks. Tackled away here. Kerwood-Wagner continuing the play to Kalena Teufel, and she's not able to get there. We're inside the last 20 minutes of this first half. Scoreless so far. Both teams have had their fair share of chances. New Mexico with a couple more than San Francisco's. They just haven't been clinical enough in front of goal, New Mexico. This is Kerwood-Wagner. Beautiful stuff. Cruyff turns into her own little run. And a throw-in as well. Another substitution for San Francisco. Cassidy George in the match. Now playing at right back. And Bethann Perry substituted into the game as well, and they've just won their third corner of this half. The last corner for San Francisco resulted in that header just skimming off the head of Autumn Smithers. They want to get a leg up into this game. They've got to maybe try to get something from this corner or bother the goalkeeper a little bit more. The best chance falling to Samantha Jennings in that first half. Excuse me, in this first half. Taken by Kalena Teufel. It's Villegas. New Mexico looking to clear through the Big West Offensive Player of the Week, Alicia Garcia. She's chasing the ball down here. And now Byerly, all the way back to her teammate Nelson. Byerly again. Still Byerly. Byerly, good diagonal for her teammate Munoz. The two seniors linking up. Cleared away by Mia Villegas. San Francisco looking to put together a fine non-conference weekend of 2 wins in a row. And there's the flip throw by Jessica Nelson. Ball bouncing around. San Francisco looking to clear. Kalena Teufel chasing it down, coming off of a New Mexico player. And now a throw in on the far side. We'll give you the New Mexico substitution in just a second. Ball that hung up in the wind. New Mexico defender couldn't get to it at first. Now she can, through the feet of Munoz. Munoz springing Leilani Baker, that has been very lively today. Baker and Eby's right there on her line. Leilani Baker has been running her socks off for New Mexico in this first half. She's had the best move of the game for New Mexico. out of the back. And is won by Jesse Hicks. Hicks looks up, surveys the field. Madison back onto her right foot. And referee signals for a foul. Looks like she used her hands a little bit to win back possession. Quickly out of the back. This is Emily Pye. Looks a bit of a meal back there, though, and San Francisco does eventually deal with it. Jalen Hendren on the left was looking for a teammate on the left. San Francisco winning back the ball here. Coming up on around 15 minutes to go in this first half. Wind definitely swirling and whipping in today on Labor Day weekend. It's the final match for both San Francisco teams here at home. The men's side will take on UCLA later tonight. 7 p.m. kickoff in Westwood. Another free kick as San Francisco presses high. Just around 15 minutes to go. Hendren, the left center back, on her right foot. Looking for Garcia. Throw in San Francisco. Don't see a lot of New Mexico players warming up either, as Heather Dyke likes her setup. They've had a few more chances than San Francisco in this first half. Not looking to make too many changes. Garcia with a push in the back. Again, these two teams met last season in Albuquerque. 2-1 for San Francisco. This is the 4th overall meeting between the sides. As you can see there, every New Mexico player just hanging out, sitting, relaxing. No changes for Coach Heather Dyke. Villegas. Smithers looks up. She has a go. This is Emily Pye. Has been substituted into the back to play alongside Kat Hill. San Francisco building out of the back through Marie Marlowe, who's been very impressive. Marlowe onto her right foot. It's Marie Marlowe. The goalkeeper palms it for a corner. Marie Marlowe. Look at this on her right foot. To the near post as well. She knows what she's doing there. Trying to catch the goalkeeper off her line. And Emily Johnson was able to parry. Ashley Humphrey in the game now. The header's just over the bar by Madison. And a substitution coming for San Francisco. 2 New Mexico substitutes warming up on the far side as well. Michelle Feinberg to be replaced in central midfield. Mia Villegas will take a break. Header by Smithers in the air. Goalkeeper has to rush out to clear that away. Jesse Hicks and Johnson were on the same page, though. And right then and there, they were able to sort it out. Kerwood Wagner with some pressure. Cleared by Hicks. Smithers keeping possession nicely. That's Pye. for her teammate Ashley Humphrey. Can't turn the corner. Feinberg goes to ground on a challenge there with Garcia, and you can tell Garcia is up for the challenge today. The Big West Offensive Player of the Week. Now Jennifer Munoz, back for Garcia. Better this from San Francisco. Humphrey. Smithers looking to switch the field, and you can hear Coach Jim Millender on the San Francisco side asking him to switch the field. That is terrific stuff by Smithers. On for Madison. Madison onto her right foot. She's grabbed and hassled, and it's Madison Johnson. Again, Madison opens up her body, finds some space. Maybe look to try to chip the goalkeeper much as she could. Now Beth Ann Perry. Feinberg keeping possession through the feet of Kerwood Wagner, and coming through and making a challenge on that is Jessie Hicks. Referee called advantage for a second and then pulls it back for a San Francisco free kick. And so Hicks, who's really been solid and sturdy in the back, is called for that. Just under 10 minutes, or just above 10 minutes to go here. 10 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock at Nego-Esco Stadium. Marlowe, ball at her feet. Here's Madison. Madison looking for her teammate in Humphrey, and Humphrey is able to bother the goalkeeper, Johnson. Last couple of moments, though, Johnson's had to be busy. Take a look at this cross again from Madison. Boom, Humphrey. Seems like Johnson's kind of parrying a lot of things as well, which makes for San Francisco thinking they can maybe follow up to some of her parries, maybe try to nick one off of the rebound from the goalkeeper. Beth Ann Perry switching the field to Madison. Everything seemed to be going through her feet now. Last couple forays has. This is Madison. She looks up. Madison again. And Johnson again. Well, 3 attacks from the center channel to the left for Micaiah Madison. Similar story, free kick now for San Francisco. Perhaps there's just a tad of fatigue as well from both sides, looking to come through their Friday night performances, where San Francisco took care of business in the first half against Santa Barbara. And this New Mexico side was involved in quite the battle with Davis. 2 substitutions now for New Mexico. Catherine Johnson now in the match for New Mexico. On here for Beth Ann Perry onto her left. Here's Bianca Code. Bianca Code just substituted into the match for San Francisco as well. Plethora of substitutions for this San Francisco side. Alexa Curtin looking for Leilani Baker. Can't find her. Jenna Kilman now in the match as well. Will play in the front line for New Mexico. A sophomore from Olympia, Washington Kilman. And now in the back line, as we told you about, Catherine Johnson, also from Western Springs, Illinois. Both the Johnson sisters playing in this New Mexico side. the junior and the freshman. Nice to have another sibling play in the defensive third of the field or in the offensive third of the field or as a midfielder with you. Goalkeeper and center back duo. That's always a nice thing to see. Garcia trying to flick on for her teammate in Jenna Kilman. Can't find her. Brought down here by Curtin. Curtin's ball over the top. Cat Hill having a tough time getting out of the back. Good pressure. And this is Floth for New Mexico. Cleared away for a throw-in. Well, this is probably a perfect situation for New Mexico to practice their long flip throw-in. Jessica Nelson's throw-in. It's a fine one indeed. Swinging at it just at the last minute there is Leilani Baker. She's having a little chuckle to herself, too, on that last swing of the ball. Eby. Her goal kick for Humphrey. Just around 5 minutes to go in this first half. Plenty of chances for both teams. 0-0 the score, though. Nelson. And now Code. Bethann Perry. For Code. Just through her outstretched foot. On her left side. Couple more substitutions here for New Mexico. Jaden Edwards now in the match here for New Mexico. From Mill Creek, Washington. As well as Lexi Baca. Emily Pye for San Francisco out of the back, looking for Samantha Kerwood-Wagner. Can she chase this down? And the goalkeeper, Johnson, is right there. This is Nelson, the right center back. It's kind of a 3-5-2 shape for New Mexico. This is Edwards. Her diagonal for Floff. Floff's service that became a shot goes over the bar. And another substitution coming for New Mexico as well. And Gwen Molly now in the match. A redshirt sophomore from Lake Forest, California. So plenty of substitutions on both sides for both teams. Both coaches electing to save their starting 11s potentially for the second half, as there's no score in this first half with 3 minutes to go. And the fatigue definitely can set in on a Sunday like this, because just one day of rest after kind of a high-level game on Friday for both sets of teams. And when you go and you play on the weekend and you got one game on Friday, you build up the entire week to that Friday. Sometimes the second game can become a little bit lost. Difficult to put these back-to-backs together. And so sometimes you've got to conserve, as it is a long season in a short amount of time. This is Perry for San Francisco. She does well. She switches the field, looking for Code. Code has Marlowe. Had a brilliant effort a few minutes ago. And now Code again. Code's ball, looking for her teammate Perry. The shot by Humphrey! Ashley Humphrey with a terrific goal for San Francisco! The little flick and Ashley Humphrey was right there. Well taken finish. San Francisco 1, New Mexico 0. I believe it was Kerwood Wagner's little flick, or Beth Ann Perry's little flick, that led to that. And just as we were talking about it maybe being 0-0 at the break, it's a substitute that scores it for San Francisco. And Smithers was held, so she'll go again. But that little flick was all the difference maker. All Humphrey had to do was just hit it home. Cassidy George, far side. Kerwood Wagner for Perry. Coach Jim Millender asking a lot on the sideline this final minute or two. Exactly 1 minute on the clock here. As the cloud cover begins to leave us at Negoesco Stadium. This is Kerwood Wagner. She goes to ground. Referee looks at the play and signals for the goal kick. Another substitution for New Mexico in the dying minutes, or dying seconds, of this first half. It's McKenna Havenor on the field now. Freshman from Albuquerque, went to Albuquerque High School. A lot of freshmen in the ranks for both sides, and you can tell the makings of good programs for Heather Dykes, New Mexico Lobos, and Jim Millender's San Francisco Dons. Really, these two coaches are very much entrusting of these younger players, and you can tell it is really quite something to behold. So at the break, between the two sides, New Mexico with a fair share of chances. In fact, quite a few. Molly Eves had to come up big time. And San Francisco gets a goal 2.5 minutes before the end of the first half. So they lead here 1-0. It was Ashley Humphrey with the goal. You can see a couple of the highlights here. And they came close a couple times, bothered the goalkeeper as well. Very much so. Lot going through Micaiah Madison's feet at the top of the 18. And Emily Johnson was active, so was Eby. But here was the goal. It was code, flicked on by Beth Ann Perry, and a absolute scorcher by Ashley Humphrey on her left foot. So that's how it stands right here on the W.TV. I'm Charles Woolen. Don't want to go anywhere. Keep your computer, your smartphone locked on the W.TV. I'll have a little halftime interview with Jim Millender after the break. From San Francisco, it's San Francisco 1, New Mexico 0.
I'm excited for the 2018 class to come in. It's an extremely talented group. And there's a lot of balance. There's a lot of really good strikers, midfield, and defenders. And I think this is, without a doubt, the best recruiting class that I've ever had at USF. I'm excited about it. We're looking for a lot of them to make major contributions to the program this year. Pinder came up with me 2 years ago. He's committed to me, and this is the one thing that I think as a head coach you're always looking for, somebody who's committed, who wants to learn everything, who doesn't want to take shortcuts. He put in, full-time, assistant coaching hours when he was a volunteer. So the one thing I love about Pinder, he's got a great demeanor about him. He loves the game. He's very analytical about the game, and maybe one of the best, I think, in regards to looking at a player and evaluating a player. And saying, Jimmy, I think she'll be able to play with this player. I think she's got this. We only have to fix this. And I think the girls really like him, too, and appreciate what he does. On the other hand, we talk about Hallie Bisson, the warhorse. She was with me for 3 years. She's one of these kids that she wants it done right. She's demanding. She's done it at a high level. She's played in Champions League. She's played at USF. Hallie can give the defenders a lot of information and the midfield players information on what's going to make them better, what's going to be successful, at the Division I level. My returning group of players, fantastic. They had an incredible spring, probably the most productive spring I've had since we've been here. They've all bought in, they're all working their tails off. Players are starting to understand each other, and that's important when you have to take the field. 2 of the seniors are transfers, one from Portland and one from University of Idaho. And then Mickey Mercado, she's been here for 4 years. Recruited her out of San Juan, out of Sacramento. She's a very good midfield player, can lead us, can get on the ball, can score goals, can create opportunities for our front runners. And then you look at Cascade. Cassidy is she's a great kid. Athletic, has come in, started most every game last year for us as a transfer. She's right in that mix again this year. She's doing very, very well, had a really good spring. And then Laura Marin has come in from University of Portland, a SoCal kid that I remember when she was coming out. She's had some injury issues. We're trying to get her healthy. She's worked hard over the summer to get back into the game and try to make an impact. But it's different this year for all 3 of those because it's a much, much more competitive environment than it's ever been here. It's a coach's dream, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, it makes all the players better because it makes a much, much more competitive environment, and it brings out the best in all of them. Our goalkeepers this year, first off, Molly came in last year as a freshman, didn't get a match really at all, but improved a lot, I thought. But then Olivia, after her season, she had shoulder surgery. She's been out till, the last month and a half, so it gave Molly all spring. She knew she was going to get a match. She played in all 6 of our spring games. I'm excited. It's a great battle between her and Olivia right now. Olivia has regained her sharpness. She was our go-to girl last year in the nets. Had some unbelievable saves and some unbelievable outings, and then some not-so-unbelievable outings. So I think what Olivia is trying to do this year, and we're trying to work with her, is we want consistency. They both have great qualities in their games, and it's going to be interesting to see who wins that battle. Defensively, Kat Hill's come in and made an incredible impact on our team. High school All-American, came in out of Utah and graduated early and came in here. Played every minute of every game in the spring at center back for us, and she'll be a major, major leader of this team. You got Emily Pye, who I thought had a good freshman year. And for me, I need more consistency out of Emily. But I think Emily has the ability to be a big-time player at the D1 level, I think. But she knows what she needs to do to have that opportunity. And then Nicole Kelsey's, our right back, she's really improved in the spring. And she's probably made as big a jump as anybody in her game. And she's just getting more confident about herself and understanding what her role is and when she can get forward and when she can't. Then you've got freshmen coming in. You got Marie Marla, who's an absolute phenomenal athlete, stud. Can't wait for her to get involved. You got Mia Villegas coming in, who can play at the back and play in the midfield. And just has all the qualities that a coach is looking for at the Division I level. You got Jaden Tamayo coming in. She's been in and done a good job, picked it up. There's a lot of quality in the back, so we won't be short on depth. We've now chosen to move Autumn Smithers into the midfield out of the back, and she is, incredible as a holding midfield force. Wins everything in the air. What a competitor. Is really starting to open up her game a little bit more. But then I think the real gem that's come in right now is Carly Weeks, the freshman, and she's just lit it up in preseason. She's dynamic going forward. She's looking to pull the trigger. She can combine. And then we've got a whole host of other kids. Chris Cabell in the midfield is good. She can work it out. Cassidy George coming in, a freshman who's outstanding, has had a really good preseason, I think. You know, Taylor Jackson's coming in, is going to make an impact. Beth Ann Perry, another freshman, very clean technically. I think our midfield is going to be pretty darn good this year, you know. I think up front, well, you get CJ back. Very good leader of the team, has a real good pulse of what's going on. Good target player, very clever around the box, good post up, can score goals. You talk about Micaiah when she came in 2 years ago to what she is right now. Led our team in scoring in the spring. She's an absolute stud right now in preseason, can run by people. She's going inside now. She's going outside. She can shoot with her left foot. She can hit it with her right foot. She's a left back's nightmare because this kid, not only is she technical, but she can get up and down and go all day long. Izzy Lukens finding her form on the left side. Is getting better. They're going to be under heat. KK comes in from Arizona. She's a very good one-on player. You got Sammy coming in, DA player from Beach down in Southern California. Post-up player, very good, athletic, can get up and down. And you got Sylvia Sloss. She's done very well in preseason, and I'm so happy for her. But I think they're going to supply depth that we've never had here before. I think their games are going to elevate, getting an opportunity to play along these players, and being in that competitive environment every day. And the great thing that I love, competition. Competition brings out the best in everybody.
Hi, my name is Kalena Teufel. I go by KK. I'm a soccer player from Phoenix, Arizona, and I play forward. I like that position because I like having the ball at my feet and having everyone behind me making fast runs up the line and scoring. I chose to come to USF because I love the city. When I came here for camps and stuff, it was just beautiful. The view from the fields and like the weather was nothing like Arizona. My individual goals for this season would be to like get stronger, to be able to compete with like the seniors out there. And I am looking forward to bringing
to her pathway was absolutely brilliant, and the reason why these two teams are separated by a 0-0. We did get a chance to speak with Coach Jim Millender at halftime, and let's have a little look at that. Coach, a very up and down first half. How do you make sure that your team gets the most out of their opportunities here for the second half?
Yeah, not happy with the first half. I mean,
for the second half.
Yeah, not happy with the first half. I mean, our effort was poor. New Mexico came out flying, and you've got to be ready to play. I think that we can't get into this up and down battle. We got to get down the ball on the floor. We got to get the ball wide. We got to get service in the box, make them defend that part of the game. And we got to play harder. We got to be better in the air. They crucified us in the air the first half, and they picked up all the knockdowns as well. So we got to be better the second half here.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck. With San Francisco leading by a 0-0, it is Ashley Humphrey's goal, a beautiful little flick right to her feet from freshman Beth Ann Perry. The difference between the two sides. We'll be back with the second half right after this. Back here with the second half at Negoesco Stadium, and it's kicked off. New Mexico getting very, very close indeed right there on the chance by the reigning Big West offensive player of the week, Alicia Garcia. A couple of substitutions, in fact, many of them by fourth-year head coach Heather Dyke in the first half. And they're chasing this game. As you could hear Coach Jim Millender chatting about in that interview, he was not too happy with his side either. New Mexico did have a lot of chances, but New Mexico was not able to capitalize on those chances in being clinical in front of goal either. 3 minutes into this second half. Weather has changed just a little bit. There's some more sun in the players' eyes now, so they've got to deal with that, as well as the wind continuing to whip in. Again, this is the fourth overall meeting between the two sides. They met last year. San Francisco defeating New Mexico 2-1 in that game, and you have to go back to 1997 and 1994, the last time these two teams met before last year. Almost a 20-year break. EB surveying the field for San Francisco. Just 5 minutes into the second half. The wind going against this San Francisco side. Shout out to San Francisco women's basketball announcer and USF alumnus, Mr. George Devine, and his daughter, right here in our broadcast position today. Just saying hi. Always nice to see our fellow broadcasters and our friends hang on by. Cat Hill standing behind the ball. Looking for Marlowe, finds Marlowe. Marlowe in the corner, throwing for New Mexico. Flip throw out of the back for New Mexico. They're always keen to do that. Headed on by Smithers for Madison. And now Alexa Curtin for Alicia Garcia. New Mexico clearing, kept in by Smithers. Marlowe looking to keep possession on the left. Throw in for San Francisco in front of that New Mexico bench. Now, this is a very dangerous opportunity for New Mexico to get on the board because they like their flip throw from Jessica Nelson. Micaiah Madison misses that. Cleared away by Marlowe. Madison chasing. This is Jalen Hendren having to be very quick indeed. Now, Kalena Teufel with the ball at her feet, nudged off the ball, still on her feet. It's a great little turn, looking for Weeks. Weeks trying to bring it back to her left. This is Jill Olguin. Madison with a foul. Excuse me, rather that's Smithers. Smithers foul, and now a set piece to New Mexico. If you're San Francisco, you don't want to be giving away too many of these to this New Mexico side. New Mexico with a strong first half. Nothing to show for it yet, though. Coach Jim Millender pushing his players forward, asking them, back. All of the San Francisco players are back. It's going to have to be retaken. Oh, excuse me. The referee blew his whistle for a second. Now he finally does as he sees an infringement. Maybe that was a strange whistle that I heard from somewhere else. I do apologize there. Now here's the free kick. Swerved in. Eby is impeded, very much so, by Jesse Hicks. Towering center back. Scores a lot off set pieces. As we told you in the first half, she scored 8 goals last year, 6 of them off of set pieces and from headers. She already has 2 this year, and 2 of those are both from headers. So she really is a set-piece specialist. Beth Ann Perry for Madison. This is the stuff that Micaiah Madison absolutely loves. Look at her on her left foot. Her teammates crying out with applause and laughter. And she'll take, Carly Weeks will take this corner kick as Beth Ann Perry is substituted. Was the fine little chip by Beth Ann Perry that led to that goal. 10 minutes into the second half. Ball bouncing around, it's flying in there. Madison's trying to get in there. Top of the area for Villegas. Laying off for Cassidy George. Referee says play on. Kalena Teufel had the ball at her feet. And it appears Micaiah Madison is on the ground, grabbing the back of her hair there. The trainer running out. Shannon Murphy taking a look at Micaiah Madison. The captain, Autumn Smithers, also having some words with her. Smithers seems to also be an assistant athletic trainer, running over to her teammates and chatting with them. Why not? This is Teufel. Still Teufel. Now, Alicia Garcia over the bar. Best chance in this second half thus far for New Mexico. Restart now to New Mexico with around 34 minutes in this match. And I'm sure they don't want to walk away empty-handed on their road trip here to California, where they played UC Davis on Friday, and they're currently down by the same scoreline to San Francisco in exactly the same spot that they conceded on Friday. They conceded with about 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. They conceded today with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. This is Munoz. Her ball over the top, headed on, and it's in the back of the net. It's Alicia Garcia. Garcia's header for New Mexico. The reigning Big West Offensive Player of the Week. Strong header. What a goal. Jesse Hicks with the flick. And these assists have proved to be huge for both sides. That flick from Hicks was the difference maker in that. And for San Francisco, as long as they're concerned, it's the flick by Beth Ann Perry that led to the Ashley Humphrey goal, as Micaiah Madison set to come back in here for San Francisco's Ashley Humphrey. Here's Jennings on the turn. And now both teams would like to score, obviously, as it's notched at 1-1. Here's Madison for San Francisco. Micaiah Madison, the cross goes right through the goal mouth for Samantha Jennings. Jennings back to goal. Jennings on the turn. Still Jennings on her feet. Referee signals for a foul. That's a bit shoulder to shoulder for me. Notched at 1-1. Here's Teufel. She is a handful. Teufel. Weeks. Madison probably going to bring it back to her right foot. Does, operating on the sideline, a step over, back to her right. Still Madison. Has Villegas at the top of the 18-2. And now Marlowe for Cat Hill. Look at Cat Hill dribble out of the back. Smithers. That's Alicia Garcia, the goal scorer for this New Mexico side. And now Madison, but it's cut out here by Alexa Curtin. Curtin, great little ball looking for Munoz. And Molly Eby right off her line to get it. Here is Leilani Baker, and it's just wide. Eby on the goal kick. Half an hour to go. We've played an hour, and at 1-1, nothing separating the two teams. Smithers looking to find her teammate Jennings, but Johnson springing off her line for New Mexico. Smithers up in the air. Second header won by Alexa Curtin. High boot there. Free kick to New Mexico. Last time this happened, Jennifer Munoz's services have been really on point today as well. She hits him. The rest of the team flicks him on. That last flick by Jessie Hicks was the difference maker. Here's her service. Maddie Hirschman chasing down the ball, and it's a New Mexico corner. So I believe that's Marlowe down on the ground for San Francisco. Another stoppage of play here. Looks like clash of two heads between the two players. Practices set pieces over and over and over again like this. Specialists at that. Everyone in the box except for one. Headed away by Madison. This is Jalen Hendren looking to swerve the ball back in, but San Francisco would like to take the ball on the break as Madison goes to ground. Foul by Jennifer Munoz. Headed away and a throw in for San Francisco. This is Kohlmeyer. Now Jennings. Hold up play. Very good. Emily Pye out of the air. Here's Jennings again. Trying to create some space for herself. Villegas with the header, and kind of shouts of some sort of foul there from the New Mexico contingent in their fan section today as Byerly goes to ground. Throwing around central midfield. And now this is Munoz who looks to switch the field, but into the feet of Micaiah Madison. It's cleared away, though, by Jaden Edwards. Madison. Looking for Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer to take this throw in. Game definitely in a lull right now between the two sides. Again, nothing separating them. 1-1 the score. Goal 3 minutes from half by Ashley Humphrey for San Francisco. And for New Mexico, a goal by Alicia Garcia. Here is Samantha Jennings, looking to work her way through. It's cleared away. On for Smithers. And now Villegas. She wants to have a go. Villegas does. Kalena Teufel had the ball bounce off of her. And it's a goal kick to New Mexico. Smithers winning back possession. This is Villegas, has Teufel. Better stuff this from San Francisco. Loses her. Has her teammate Humphrey with her that scored the opening goal of this game. Still Humphrey on her feet. Humphrey's cross. On for Weeks. And now Madison in the area. Goalkeeper has to clear. San Francisco, a little bit more pressure this last minute or two. Does finally signal for a free kick. A bit of momentum on the San Francisco side in this last couple of minutes, as we had just said. Villegas behind the ball. Same thing with Jennings. Four in the wall for New Mexico. Johnson, the goalkeeper, talking to her players. Great position this for Samantha Jennings. Jennings raises her hand. She chips it in. Comes off of Pye. Follow up by Humphrey. Laid off here. And the referee signals for another free kick directly, centrally. And at this point, you got to figure that Samantha Jennings might want to have a go from this specific spot on her left. But now there's 5 in the wall for New Mexico. This is the part where you'd like to have a go. It's from a position she scored from a free kick, last year in overtime for San Francisco to win a match. Now I'm sure she'd love to have one with around 21 minutes to go. 5 in the wall. She's eager to take it. Oh! And that's just over the bar. And a good save by the goalkeeper. If you take a look at this, that is top shelf stuff. The goalkeeper, Johnson, was spectacular on that. And what a great effort. Headed away by Hicks. Throw in for San Francisco. Won a plethora of free kicks in this last couple of minutes. Jennings with a handball is called. New Mexico substitution on the far side. Now that substitute should be allowed to go into the game. There's no 4th official today, though, for this match. Samantha Jennings. Pye swerving it back in for Jennings. Look at this by Samantha Jennings. That is great, great football. Now Autumn Smithers. On for George. Humphrey. Her cross. Johnson is there again. Jim Millender asking for more from his team. They've had the better run of the play this last few minutes. Here's Hicks. Hicks still on her horse, trying to exchange a 1-2 with one of her teammates. Jennings lays off for Weeks. Weeks has Humphrey with her. Still Weeks. Humphrey holds her own play up to still be onside. Humphrey, it's Madison! Oh, and it's just wide. And Weeks looking to win the corner on the follow-up. And Mia Villegas is being held. by Amelia Byerly, and she wins that. The cross from Humphrey. It is pitch perfect. The finish just wide. This is Villegas to take on her left. It's a decent service. San Francisco trying to follow up. Villegas with a shot. Comes off of a New Mexico defender. Brought down by Cat Hill. Cat Hill trying to find Pye. And Pye's service back into the fray. Goes for everybody. And right back to the goalkeeper. 2 substitutions coming up shortly here for New Mexico. But the referee stops play. Gives the ball back to the goalkeeper for a second. Maybe he saw some sort of infringement. That was a bit awkward. And the offside flag is raised. Referee finally does look at his assistant and makes the call. Here's Jalen Hendren. Ball for Cami Floth in the corner. San Francisco throw in. New Mexico will be able to send some of their players up to create some pressure, maybe get a turnover in the final third. San Francisco keen to play out of it. Not a lot of communication between Jennings and Villegas. And it's New Mexico with possession. And Carly Weeks shutting down that play, running against the goalkeeper. And Johnson runs out to clear with just around 16 minutes to go here on the WTV. San Francisco 1, New Mexico 1. And here come 3 substitutions for New Mexico and 1 for San Francisco. Jenna Kilman back in the match. Gwen Molly in the game for New Mexico. And we'll give you the third one in just a second. And McKenna Havenor in the match for New Mexico. And Samantha Kerwood-Wagner replaces Samantha Jennings. Smithers brought down here for Villegas. Villegas onto her right, and now Weeks. Weeks, overlapping run. This is Humphrey. Humphrey has Kerwood-Wagner in there. Samantha Kerwood-Wagner, now Weeks, and it's over the bar. Well, Carly Weeks, who scored last Sunday with an effort right there over the bar. The last 10 minutes or so has seen San Francisco have the better run of play and more chances than New Mexico. New Mexico came out flying in this second half. San Francisco a bit tepid. Jim Millender not happy with the first half performance, as he had said in the halftime interview. Wants to get more from his team. Now Ashley Humphrey working her way on this near sideline closest to us, and the referee does see an infringement. As Jalen Hendren was grabbing her face, she may have got whacked in the mouth there. She'll take this free kick. Headed on by Villegas, brought down by Weeks. Weeks over to the left, maybe can find Madison. And outruns the goalkeeper. Madison applying a little bit of pressure. Kallmeyer marshals that out for a throw-in. Interesting discussion on the sideline between the coaches and the referees. Brought down by Weeks. Weeks trying to hoof in for Madison, and Johnson's there again. Johnson's had to be very, very active in this second half, especially the last 15 minutes. Heather Dyke asking her team to get up the field. Little flick there. Can Ashley Humphrey be there? Yes, she can. That's a fine service down the field, too. Second ball, though, won by New Mexico. San Francisco committing a lot of players. This is Munoz, dealt with, though, by Emily Pye, the sophomore who played a lot in central midfield last year. Now at center back. This is Hicks. She's chasing. And again, Johnson, the goalkeeper, has to be off her line quickly and takes care of business. Almost coming up on around 10 minutes to play. 1-1 the score. Goal scored by Humphrey. And the reigning Big West Player of the Week, Alicia Garcia, on the offensive side. She's currently not in the match, probably being conserved for this last little bit as well. And now a San Francisco player is down on the ground. It looks like it's Weeks. Been running her socks off in central midfield. Coach Jim Millender expects the best from her. She's athletic and really, really enjoys the ball at her feet. The freshman from Southern California, coming out of Redlands East Valley High School. One of the most highly touted recruits that San Francisco has had. She's back up on her feet. It's Cassidy George to take this throw in. Beth Ann Perry now in the game, who's had a decent little stint out there. She was a substitute in that first half, and it was her small little flick that led to the goal that San Francisco scored. And it was scored by Ashley Humphrey. Cat Hill. And now Pye. Headed on by Humphrey for Kerwood Wagner. A work rate from Kerwood Wagner off the bench is something that Jim Millender obviously likes having coming on for Samantha Jennings. Villegas, it's a nice ball, well intended for Micaiah Madison, but does not meet her feet though. Overlapping run here. George has to be swift and clears it away for a throw-in. Leilani Baker now back in the match. And this is going to be a deep throw-in for New Mexico. They're used to these. This is Jessica Nelson who will take. They're specialists at these flip throws. Nelson, it's a perfect ball. Cassidy George tries to deal with it. She finally is able to look up and see some daylight, but it's kept in here. Through the feet of Jill Olguin. Olguin overlapping run for Leilani Baker. Corner kick now. New Mexico wants to strike. Now is the time, as they're good at these set pieces. And they love doing this kind of thing. Every single New Mexico player is up except for one, and the goalkeeper. Olguin on the right. Met with at the near post by Emily Pye. Good running. And every New Mexico player is still back. And the goalkeeper, Eby, raises her hand, and the assistant referee raised his flag just around the same time. So offside right there. Now a San Francisco free kick with just over 8 minutes to go. Madison, left side, back to her right foot, now onto her left, couple of step overs at the end line. Micaiah Madison, still Madison. The shot takes a deflection off of a New Mexico player. Bethann Perry looked to try to find one of her teammates. Kept in by Autumn Smithers. Throw in and a change for San Francisco. Samantha Kerwood-Wagner for Samantha Jennings. Crucial time for both sides now to see if they can get something out of this game. So I'm sure they don't want to go to overtime on Sunday. And that first touch for Madison really let her down. And so now, goal kick, New Mexico. San Francisco continuing to press. Header won by Smithers. Second header won in the air. And then a foul is called. McKenna Havenor's free kick. It's a good one. It's headed in on goal by Gwen Molly. Ball hung up in the air. Bethann Perry wasn't able to get to it. Here comes Autumn Smithers. Still on her feet and on her horse. Micaiah Madison is just a little bit offside. Throwing around central midfield. 5 minutes to go. Is there a last gasp regular time winner for these two sides? Flip throw here from New Mexico. And now Villegas. Kallmeyer. Her ball was intended for Madison. It's going to be a New Mexico throw now. They'll have another go at this. Jessica Nelson's flip throws. Very special. She get this right, though. First post is Hicks. Ball bouncing around. Cat Hill's able to deal with it. Hicks goes to ground. So does Jennings. And the foul is given to Hicks. And so, dangerous set-piece opportunity for New Mexico in this final couple of minutes. 3 minutes, 42 seconds on the clock. You can see this. It's shoulder to shoulder. Run right into Jennings. Jennings goes to ground. So does Hicks. McKenna Havenor to take. Standing behind the ball. It's going to be taken on her left foot. Havenor, it's a short one. It's Jessica Baker, and it's Jessica Nelson, and it's over the bar by Molly Eby. So corner kick now to New Mexico with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Jessica Nelson. Look at that. Very similar spot that the free kick was taken by Jennings as well. Jill Olguin to take. Referee sees an infringement in that area. New Mexico's a team that sends a plethora of their players into the final third early. Olguin's service, headed away at the near post by Autumn Smithers. Back on in, though. Munoz is chasing. Munoz trying to swerve the ball back in. Cleared away by Smithers. And now Jalen Hendren. Munoz. Bethann Perry's ball for Madison. Madison beats her defender, and she wins a corner. So here comes a substitution for San Francisco and for New Mexico. 1 minute and 53 seconds to go until potential overtime as well. Jennings takes a rest. Kerwood Wagner back in the match. Samantha Jennings looks very tired indeed. Amelia Byerly withdrawn. Weeks' service, near post headed away. Bethann Perry chasing. Finds Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer back for Weeks. This is good from San Francisco. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, though. Headed on by Kohlmeyer. Jill Olguin looking to find the diagonal for her teammate. And New Mexico wins a crucial throw here in this final 55 seconds or so. Again, Jessica Nelson races over to the ball. She is the set piece specialist with these flip throws of hers. Thrown on in. Ball hangs up in the air for another throw in, and more of a dangerous position with 30 seconds to go. Heather Dyke asking her team to get up the field. San Francisco has to deal with it. The wind's swirling. They finally do, and it is a goal kick with 19 seconds left to go in the second half. 10 seconds now. Molly Eby. Cat Hill diving. And we are going to be headed to overtime here on the W.TV. And after 90 minutes of play in San Francisco, it is San Francisco 1, New Mexico 1. An answer from the New Mexico Lobos in the form of Alicia Garcia, who is the reigning Big West Offensive Player of the Week. Here is the goal once again. Hit by Munoz, flicked on by center back Jesse Hicks, right over the goalkeeper, and that's the way things stand. So we will be back with the first half of sudden death overtime here on the WTV in just a few minutes. You don't want to go anywhere. Thanks so much. It is the first half of sudden death overtime at Nego Esco Stadium. Charles Wolin with you here on the W.TV. This game has really had everything to it. A pleasure to call today. Two teams really up for it. New Mexico trying to avenge a loss on Friday night against UC Davis. Plenty of set-piece opportunities and opportunities for them in this match. They scored in the second half. Now Micaiah Madison on the ground looking for Kerwood Wagner. And wasn't able to find her. San Francisco goal was scored in the first half by Ashley Humphrey. The goalkeeper, Johnson, has to come out that she almost parries it to herself. She has to be careful there. And we're going to play two 10-minute overtime periods. And in that time, if any team does score, they will win the game. If it is notched at 1-1, it will stay as a tie. But the first team to score will win. Cleared away. Throw in now for San Francisco in the New Mexico final third. And New Mexico has been bothering San Francisco with a lot of throw-ins of their own deep in the San Francisco half. So San Francisco with a good foray, though, in the second half for about 15-20 minutes spell. You kind of got the feeling they were going to score. Ended up not. Weeks had a shot. Jennings had one saved off of a free kick. The beautiful save by Johnson. Here was the freshman Weeks on for her fellow freshman, Beth Ann Perry. Ball cleared away. The goal scorer, Ashley Humphrey, chases that one, and Kohlmeyer will take this throw-in for the Dons. This is Kohlmeyer. On for Perry. Brought down by Villegas. For Micaiah Madison. On to the left. It's Madison's shot. Met with, though, by the goalkeeper, Johnson. It's a good start from San Francisco in this first overtime period. And good to see Marie Marlowe back out there. She took a hit to the head, I think. Or was just a bit shaken up on a play. And she had, but she has, again, been so impressive at the outside back position thus far, coming on as a substitute on Friday night and today. Just around 7 minutes to go in this first overtime period. Once again, if it's 0-0 or no one scores, we'll go to a second overtime period. Game very much on a knife's edge here. Marlowe swerving the ball into the fray. This is Jaden Edwards. The diagonal for her teammate, Leilani Baker, who's been one of the best New Mexico players on the field today for me. Baker and Alicia Garcia, very special players for this New Mexico side. And a lot of freshmen and sophomores in this New Mexico team. They lost 8 starters and 8 seniors last year. So when speaking to Heather Dyke prior to the game, she had mentioned it's hard to replace them. And mind you, there's a lot of freshmen, a lot of young faces, especially in this side right now, but they'll be able to get better every day. And that's the whole idea and intention of what Heather Dyke is trying to do now in her 4th year at the helm of this New Mexico Lobos side. Same thing for Coach Jim Millender as well. A lot of freshmen starting for San Francisco, and a lot of freshmen and sophomores coming off of the bench. Here is Micaiah Madison weaving her way through. Madison. Ball falls to Weeks. Weeks plays in Kohlmeyer. Hallmeyer for Ashley Humphrey. Humphrey, the overlapping run here on Weeks. Back to Humphrey. Humphrey back to her right foot. Tees it up for Autumn Smithers. Smithers can't wriggle her way through. San Francisco not able to manufacture a shot from that. This is Leilani Baker, but cut off the ball here from Kat Hill. The referee says play on. Into the feet of Mia Villegas, who switches the field. Marlowe with a foul just around central midfield. And it's brought back by the referee here. 4 minutes, 38 seconds to go. The player on the ground is Amelia Byerly. Again, a free kick for New Mexico. They send a lot of their players on these free kicks. And this is their strategy because they're good at it. It's hit by McKenna Havenor. And San Francisco's able to deal with it. Looking to be put back into the fray is Jessica Nelson. And here is Micaiah Madison on her horse for Humphrey. Humphrey's able to get to it. Top of the 18. And weaving her way through. Not able to get something in on goal. Here's Weeks. And now Humphrey for Madison again. Excuse me, Kerwood Wagner. Kerwood Wagner for Beth Ann Perry. And it's wide. Well, Beth Ann Perry with a fine effort. Three minutes and 22 seconds left. This is the introduction of Michaela Mercado now for Beth Ann Perry. Here's Micaiah Madison on the turn. She does brilliantly, and it's cleared away by Havenor. 2 minutes, 39 seconds to go. Cat Hill's throw in for Samantha Kerwood Wagner, and it's just over the bar by Autumn Smithers. Good intention from Smithers. The holding midfielder, sometimes center back, but converted into this holding midfield position. Leilani Baker runs into Cat Hill, goes to ground, not much in that. Under 2 minutes to go. Cat Hill for Madison. Madison for Mercado. Mercado's ball over the top for Kerwood Wagner. Chasing is Weeks. So is Johnson, the goalkeeper. Johnson comes out. Brought down, though. Or, excuse me, ball bouncing around. Finally brought down by Leilani Baker. Can Kerwood Wagner chase? And she can. Goal kick to New Mexico. seconds off on our screen and the stadium clock as well. 18 seconds to go. San Francisco manufacture something in this last 10 seconds. And they probably won't. Here's Leilani Baker. This is Munoz. Shot from distance. Out comes Eby. And that is the end of the first overtime here at Negoesco Stadium. Both teams will get a little quick drink of water, Gatorade, talk to their coaching staffs, and we'll be back with the second overtime period on the WTV right after this. So we've reached the second half of overtime here on the WTV. San Francisco 1, New Mexico 1. Ashley Humphrey scoring for San Francisco in the first half, 3 minutes from time. For New Mexico, it is the reigning Big West Player of the Week. On the offensive side, Alicia Garcia that scored for the Lobos to tie this game at 1 goal apiece. And both sets of teams have had their fair share of chances, but they haven't had the composure to be clinical enough around goal to score more today. And so I'm sure both Heather Dyke, the visiting New Mexico Lobos coach in her 4th year, and Jim Millender, San Francisco Dons head coach in his 7th year, would like to see a potential game winner. It's had a lot in it. This is Samantha Jennings to the end line, and it's a corner kick for San Francisco with a minute played in this overtime period. Smithers, Kat Hill are in there, as well as Mia Villegas, the U17 Mexican international. It's going to be taken by Carly Weeks. Weeks at the corner flag. Something from the training ground is Jennings. Jennings for Weeks. She swerves it back in. Madison is there and cleared away by New Mexico. Kept in by Michaela Mercado, who's dragging the New Mexico player down in Leilani Baker. And the referee does call that back for advantage. And New Mexico does have the chance to send some of their players forward here and get on with it. Ball over the top here for Garcia. We played 2 minutes, 8 minutes to go. San Francisco looking very lively. This New Mexico side can score off of a set piece anytime, any place. They have a contrast in style, these two teams, but kind of get the feeling they can score any place, any time. And New Mexico, as you can see this, the flip throw by Jessica Nelson, cleared away by Kat Hill. Nelson marshals that out. She'll take another flip throw. And New Mexico will send everyone in the box except for 2 of their players. Nelson, another flip throw. She must have at least done 10 of them today, it seems like. Kohlmeyer nudging Hicks off the ball, and the referee on the far side sees the infringement. Free kick now to New Mexico in an extremely dangerous area just outside the 18. It's McKenna Havenor to take this one on the left. Maybe in a strong enough position to have a go on goal. McKenna Havenor with 6:45 to go. 2 in the wall for San Francisco. Havenor, not the best of services over everyone's head. She's got to do better than that for New Mexico. And that was a golden opportunity and a really solid chance for the Lobos. Here is Marie Marlowe. Just went all the way through that one. Now Carly Weeks. The brilliance of the freshman, Carly Weeks. She's not able to find Samantha Jennings. All the way back to Johnson, the goalkeeper. 6 minutes and change to go. This is Leilani Baker. Still on her feet, Leilani Baker looking for Alicia Garcia. Trickles all the way through. Laid off here. Save made by Ebby. The second opportunity fluffed by Jill Olguin. And a throw in for San Francisco. Oh my goodness. New Mexico with quite the opportunity just moments ago. And a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge by Teufel and Cami Floth results in a free kick for New Mexico. 5 minutes to go. If there's going to be a winner, it's going to be very shortly. Excuse me, it's got to be very shortly. Headed on in. EB. Cassidy Kohlmeyer having words with the referee. Here's Jennings. Can she get there? No, she can't. Oh, quick throw in here for San Francisco, rather, and a substitution coming as well. Bethann Perry for Michaela Mercado. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. It's heart-racing stuff, really. You know, buckle up your seatbelts. Got a little bit of turbulence inside Negoesco Stadium. Both teams searching for that winner. Marlowe, her cross. It's over the bar. You have to admire the work rate of Marie Marlowe and what she has done. Jennings. All the way back to goalkeeper Johnson. Kohlmeyer. Bethann Perry. Can't find her teammate, Micaiah Madison. Both sets of teams must be absolutely gassed after a game on Friday and this game today. Just one day of rest. Bethann Perry wins it back. Second ball, though, by New Mexico. Ball still bouncing up in the air. Finally settled by Autumn Smithers. Referee says play on. Smithers sets herself. She finds Micaiah Madison, and she is just offside. Well, that was a bit contentious. One of the more contentious calls of the game by the referee. Because she was off on her horse. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here on the W.TV. Molly Ebby's service for Madison. She's able to keep it in. Micaiah Madison. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Look at this strong run by Micaiah Madison. Is this the last chance winner for San Francisco? It's Carly Weeks, and it's palmed over the bar. Well, here's the corner. Going to be taken by Carly Weeks with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. You always kind of get the feeling right there that Carly Weeks was going to score that. But excellent goalkeeping again by Johnson. She's had to keep San Francisco out. Weeks' service at the near post. Going to be a second corner in a row. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. San Francisco camped out in New Mexico's half. Weeks punched away, brought down. She's got another opportunity here to swerve this in. Weeks. That is hit with verve and pace. For a second, you thought she had to go. Exactly a minute now. A couple corners and another cross. 50 seconds to go. Here on the WTV, San Francisco 1, New Mexico 1. Bethann Perry fluffs her lines. Diagonal for Leilani Baker, cleared away by Marie Marlowe. 30 seconds to go. Referee changes his mind and, sees something on the far side. It's a quick free kick. This is Kat Hill headed on here. Micaiah Madison brings it down. 12 seconds to go. Madison, the goalkeeper comes out. Jennings runs into it. It's Autumn Smithers! Autumn Smithers with 7 seconds to go! Seemingly with no time left on the clock. San Francisco 2, New Mexico 1. The senior leader and captain of this side with a goal with nothing left, and at the death, San Francisco wins this game. A game they probably would have loved to win a little bit sooner and earlier, but New Mexico gave it all they could today. A well-played game on both sides from both coaching staffs and both sets of players. Autumn Smithers with a game-winning goal for San Francisco to now put them at 5-1 on the year. New Mexico falls to 2-3 on the year. And if you got the chance to catch your breath, I'm still trying to do so myself. New Mexico with a strong first half, looking to avenge a Friday night loss against UC Davis and getting scored upon by San Francisco 2 minutes and 30 seconds from time. A similar story for them on Friday evening. The goal by Ashley Humphrey for San Francisco was big time. And then on the New Mexico side, they answered through the Big West Player of the Week, Alicia Garcia. And San Francisco didn't give up. They had good forays in the second half. And so did New Mexico off of their set pieces. But the goal right there, a golden goal by Autumn Smithers, the senior captain of this squad, with 7 seconds left on the clock. I think they'll think about this one for a very, very long time. I want to thank everybody that participates in helping with our broadcast, everybody back in the studio, and everyone here at Negoesco Stadium that does all their camera work for us, including Diego, that's been on camera one for about 4 years here, since 2014. He is the man for our executive producer, Katie Morgan, and senior executive producer, Woon Wen. My name is Charles Wolin, and we appreciate you helping to grow the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America, by tuning into this broadcast. That's exactly what you do. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon, wherever you are, across the country or around